Hi there, this is called Understanding the Bible, and I've found that the biggest key to understanding the Bible is working out whether the writer is directing his words to a particular people of the time or to mankind in general. It could be argued that the letter of Hebrews is directed towards Jewish people who have a family history in the traditions of the Jewish faith. Unless you are a Jewish person, you are classed as a Gentile, and as a result, the book of Romans may be more benefit. I can remember being a new Christian, and I went along to church, and I couldn't help feeling that some of the teaching just didn't seem to apply to me. I just didn't have that history in my life that it was addressing because I was a Gentile and more like a Roman than a Jewish person. So it was all interesting finding out about all the Old Testament, Moses, all the ones we know, Moses and Noah, etc., etc. So in the introduction, let's use the Gospel of John. In the introduction to the Gospel of John, he addresses his writings to all men. So that applies to everyone. Romans, we'll go back to Romans again, it's addressed to Gentiles. And part of the introduction to Romans is to call people from among the Gentiles to the obedience that comes from faith. And again, to all in Rome who are loved by God and called to be saints. To the church of God in Corinth. So that's at the beginning of the first book of Corinthians. So the Corinthians were the people of that city or town, and Corinth was the actual name of the place. We're using letters addressed to believers. Are we using all this New Testament, all these letters directed towards believers? Are we using that to reach out to unbelievers? So that's an interesting kind of concept. If so, then it's not. Don't be surprised if the average Australian, for instance, regards your message as kind of foreign and not applicable to their own lives. It is not necessary to know anything beyond a gospel or even its central message to be a Christian. The main thing is to put yourself in a position to let God minister to you. Be warm and open-minded to God's Spirit. Place a great deal of importance when you're reading the Bible to the first chapter of what you're reading. Note in your mind who, what, and when the writing is intended for. Note in your mind, I used to, for instance, I used to gloss over the introduction to the books. I was wanting to get ahead to the content itself, and as a result of that, of not reading the introduction properly, the first chapter of any of the letters or books properly, and putting it in my mind, as a result of that, I had an unbalanced view of the writing's purpose and context. So the first part that you're reading is of supreme importance, otherwise you might get all the rest of the book wrong. All the content there, it may not apply to you in your particular situation or to another person's particular situation if you don't know that first part. The foundation of being a Christian is not knowledge, but experiences. This is very important. Let's go over those experiences. The first one, experiencing belief in Jesus with its forgiveness and your spirit being renewed. So those things accompany it's just you simply believing in Jesus. Experience the power of the infilling of the Holy Spirit. In the Bible it says that this is additional to believing. You believe and you get filled with the Holy Spirit. Experiencing a deeper forgiveness from your past life with water baptism. That's all. Thank you.